13th of January 2020. My upload this morning or this afternoon is with regard to my right to property and my right to safe living standards, suitable and adequate habitable living standards. As I've stated in my uploads, I'm a victim of a vendetta of hate crime. I'm a victim of domestic violence, and I'm a victim of sexual assault. I'm a victim of constitutional wrongdoings, and I'm a victim of medical negligence. As I've stated, since I married a property owner and gave birth in 2015, the most outrageous circumstances have occurred. This is a very serious situation because there are people in this community orchestrating since 2015 a vendetta that has cost them great expense. The expense that those culprits have gone to have cost them a great deal. As well as that, the culprits that are responsible for defaming my character and that have orchestrated medical negligence, amongst other more serious wrongdoings that I'm not privy to fully and that I wouldn't be discussing openly online, have caused very serious damage. The issue this morning is regarding housing and homelessness. I've been harassed from my marital home and my family home. The authorities are fully aware of the incidents of domestic violence and sexual assault that I've experienced. The issues I've experienced due to the culprits causing these problems have not been addressed. Justice has not been served, and damages, losses and earnings that I've experienced throughout this vendetta in the past 15 years, and more recently in the past 4 years, have not been compensated. As I've said, I'm currently in public accommodation. The state is funding my accommodation. I'm a qualified professional that should be living financially independent of the state, but due to the incident of sexual assault and revenge porn and defamation of my character and reputation, I've become unemployable. I'm a fully qualified and competent individual. I'm a professional educator. My reputation has been disrespected by individuals that are employing the most disgraceful tactics. These individuals are professionals. They've been making false and disparaging claims about me with the past 2 years. At one stage I was told, or it was insinuated, that I was intellectually incompetent, that I had apparently an intellectual disability. That's incorrect. At the moment, the apparent tactic is financial incompetence. As I've said, I'm unemployed and I'm in public accommodation. I don't receive spousal support. I don't receive disability allowance that I've sought due to the medical negligence that's occurred. I've not received financial amends for the defamation of my character and reputation. I've not been accessing or been provided with the services that I'm entitled to as a citizen. I'm a law-abiding citizen and I'm being victimised by professionals that have been guilty for damaging my livelihood. The issue I want to address most importantly is the issue of my right to live in society as a peaceful citizen as I am. As I've stated, I haven't ever been involved in antisocial behaviour, neither have I been involved in any criminality. But there are people perpetrating senselessness and being very reckless with their positions and abusing what power they have and going to great expense, as I've said, to cause very serious problems. Um, the issues regarding housing and home um, are my right. Due to domestic violence um, that hasn't been addressed over 2 years ago, um, I'm currently healing from the damage done by professionals, and I'm currently living peacefully, finally, on my own, independently, without any financial support or without any services that I'm entitled to. The legal aspect of all of this is that there has been an intentional obstruction of justice, and there has been a very serious violation of my privacy, and there have been individuals obstructing my rights as an EU citizen due to their negligence and due to their issues. Um, this issue is on a macro level at this stage. It commenced as a minor issue that has had a very serious impact on different facets of society. Um, People have been informed of the most deceitful um, lies. Um, as I've said, there's been an issue of disinformation, and there's been an issue of very serious defamation. As a 38-year-old woman, to be experiencing these violations and to have this obstruction of justice occurring due to other people's negligence and bad behaviour is a very sad sign of the times. And it's also very sinister that professionals that have violated, say for instance, not only their legal obligations to represent and defend honesty, truth, and what is right, but also professionals that haven't honoured the oath of prioritising um, women and men's health, physical health. As I've said, there's been a very sinister effort by individuals to implicate mental health individuals and professionals in my livelihood and whatnot. Um, Professionals from such fields have no involvement with me and have no business being concerned about me. The people they need to be concerned about are those that are causing these problems, because I find it very serious that such distorted mindsets would be inflicting these kind of problems on an innocent mother, deserted wife, and qualified professional. Um, I also find it very serious that a community that has perpetrated so many and so numerous wrongdoings haven't seen how serious this is. The amount of damage that has been caused and the cost of human life and damaging human life without any valid reasons or without any justifiable reason, and any damage caused based on falsehoods and misinformation or disinformation is yet another serious offence of this situation. Um, the people targeting me are professionals simply because of how serious the damage that they have caused actually is. I'm a deserted wife. I am not um, tolerating the intrusion of any individuals that I have not sought assistance from. That means that the people violating my privacy and involving themselves and intruding upon my private life are not welcome for me to be entertaining or getting involved with. I have sought assistance from the politicians and authorities. Any representatives from any other agency or institution have no business concerning themselves with me. As regards the tactics of insulting and belittling my intellectual capabilities, and now disparaging my financial competence are also causing very serious damage. For a woman of 38 years of age that has contacted relevant agencies and has not received the support or the legislative assistance or information that I'm entitled to is a very serious issue for the government and the politicians involved. Um, some people seem to think that by dismantling a woman's hierarchy of needs is an easy way of making them vulnerable. As a survivor of assault, I'd like to make it very clear that those preying and predators that are thinking that making a vulnerable woman isolated and undermined in society is not actually how it is at all. Um, as an independent adult that is fully capable both intellectually and financially, I'd appreciate it if the ombudsman that I have contacted would contact me immediately, please. Um, the issue of whistleblowing wouldn't be occurring if people were able to have done their jobs properly. As a consequence of the incompetence, I am now recovering independently on €200 per week. My profession per hour when employed is a lot more, and my income from the damages and losses and harm caused should be a lot higher as well. But there's a very serious obstruction of justice occurring, and the fact that I'm in the accommodation that I'm in and that I'm on the allowance that I'm on is a blatant and obvious tactic of those that are perpetrating hate crime and that are intentionally demeaning my financial wealth and my livelihood standards. So, for the professionals that are violating my privacy and portraying false information to other agencies, and those professionals that have no business intruding in my personal life, that I have not welcomed into my personal life, are not in any position to cast aspersions or false claims about me. Um, as a person that has lived peacefully and that has been a victim of domestic violence, I think it's disgraceful for any woman or female professional to think that there's any benefits to causing me these problems, especially considering the exploitation of what my contributions were to society before they were ever in this county or before they were ever in this situation. That means that not only is there amounts owing and due for the damages done, but the compensation for the exploitation of what was unauthorized by me and stolen from me. I kindly respect those professionals to desist in the damage that they are doing to an innocent woman, because I've been a law abiding citizen all my life. I've had respect for my profession as an educator, and I've had respect for other professionals as well. And as a law abiding citizen, I don't appreciate negligence or incompetence or wrongdoings, and I seriously don't appreciate the violation and intrusion of my privacy by individuals that have no business intruding. So those that think that they're being cute, clever and smart by making matters worse than they already are for the problems that have already been caused, I would seriously suggest that they rethink and consider very carefully how they're handling this situation against me, because this vendetta is getting a little bit tired and a little bit wearisome, and it's cost enough already to this community. So it's very clear that my intellectual capabilities and competence is quite good. Thank you. Even regarded this, considering the physical injuries that I've experienced. My financial capabilities are also quite good also. Um, and, you know, if I were to tot up the sums about what I'm owed, I'd be a very wealthy lady. So this community, authorities, local government, politicians, UN agencies and civil liberty groups, would you please seriously consider how serious the situation is? Because those people that have been incompetent and negligent and that have abused their position and that have facilitated the culprits of this vendetta, um, and have relayed and portrayed false information about me, are not handling this matter properly at all. Um, so this morning, with regard to my right to housing and home and whatnot, and to be able to live without intrusions or violations occurring, um, considering that I'm a woman and that there are other professional women involved in this vendetta of hate crime, would they consider the implications of assisting this and domestic violence and stuff, you know? Do you realise that from my marital home, my family home, um, you know, the logic of this situation from my perspective is very clear and very black and white. And basically, the amount for the damages that I've experienced, the losses and whatnot with regards to my profession and my earnings is exorbitant. So this community that is persisting in this vendetta really needs to consider what has already happened over the past 15 years. So the UN are now my only concern with regard to what human rights violations are concerning this situation. A local community has victimized and violated an innocent woman, and that's pretty shameful and a very sad, sad, sad sign of the times. Um, so I'd appreciate it if everyone could live peacefully and harmoniously. I've been a peace campaigner since 2006 when I was sexually assaulted and experienced the defamation and revenge porn. And if people can't live in peace, and if people have to be pulling strings continuously to achieve the most malicious agendas, then I have a very serious concern about their mental health. And as for the adults that are intruding in my privacy and think that they are being confronted with a vulnerable woman, and that they think that by disabling my rights and stealing from me and damaging my health and wealth, then I hope they understand that this woman doesn't appreciate any individuals being disrespected and wronged, as has happened with my situation. So I'd appreciate it if those um, politicians and civil liberty groups would contact me, please, because there are individuals in this society with a mindset that isn't conducive at all to progress for civil liberty and civil society.